This Christmas, Tim Allen is coming to town. That's right, the Tool Man you know and love. He's in town, and he's the Santa Claus.
Oh, boy, is he ever. Welcome to episode 133, Opus. Sorry, that screwed that up. Off to that winging start. Welcome to Opus 133 in B-flat major. Yes, that's right, continuing my Beethoven esoteric jokes that nobody gets but me. We are covering Dan's favorite time of year, and thus his pick, the Santa Claus.
On the seventh day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a Tim Allen movie.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's the D Train here on the ones and the twos, and that's right, I chose for our Christmas blockbuster this year, the Santa Claus. We covered some Home Alones, 5 of them, a couple years back. Then last year, the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yes,
And
yes.
finally, that was just one thing, so I thought we'd split the diff, a 3-movie franchise, the Santa Claus.
Looking back, I'm happy that we split the difference. A holiday special would always be welcome for me. Maybe next year we can do something that's a one-off. But I'm glad there's just 3 of these things. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many Christmas franchises are there that have 5 movies? That's a lot.
It's true.
Were they all Christmas movies? I think they were.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I've tried to bury that in the back chamber of my mind. And, whilst I was indeed, slightly cursing Dan during the viewing of this film, it did reassure me that we were going to be getting to see Martin Short in the third one as somebody looks dressed in ice.
I think it's Jack Frost, Henry.
Yeah, I almost said that, but I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to.
Well, there are a lot of different incarnations of Jack Frost. One of them's a harmonica-playing jazz man, played by Michael Keaton, who becomes a snowman. That's a classic.
God, I wish there was a sequel to that.
Me too. I love that movie.
I think that would have been a no-brainer, right? You would have picked
Oh,
that.
I'd pick that 100% any day of the week.
Right, I knew it. Yeah.
And
And the other ones sometimes that have a Christmas movie in them, like Christmas Vacation, we have to do the whole thing, so it wouldn't have worked out.
it's not as Christmassy. And Henry, as you know, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Right. For you, yes. I probably mentioned this last.
You're not
Christmas.
into Christmas? What are you, one of these suicidal people? I hear the suicide rate in America jocks up during Christmas.
Yeah, I always was. It was always my favorite holiday. It just diminished over the years. I do think that there's a possibility that I suffer from a slight post-traumatic stress disorder from working in retail for too many Christmases, where it really makes you loathe the world. And I don't know if I've ever gotten over that.
I worked in retail for 11 Christmases straight, Henry.
Right.
I
you did.
still can't get enough of the season for giving and all the songs and accoutrement thereof.
It impresses me that love there. I don't particularly share it, but you know what I do like, if I could turn off the sound of everything around me and just kind of look at I like the lights; those are very nice.
Sure,
it's very calming. I do find it serene.
The vibe is pleasant.
Exactly. If I could have it like sort of on mute, if I could sort of Marley Matlin my way through Christmas, I think I'd be happy.
Henry, if I had to rank all the Christmas songs in the world, they'd all be number one in my heart. You couldn't find the Christmas song I don't like. You could try.
That's not true.
I swear to God, I'll even fuck with that one about the hippopotamus.
Come on, man. You can still handle the. Oh, this is a bad. I set myself up for this. You can still handle that George Michael tune.
What, Last Christmas?
Yeah.
I'm not even close to not being able to handle that one. That's a great That's a great song. Soon to become
Mariah
a Paul
Carey?
Feig directed movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey's.
You're naming all the best ones. Name some bad ones.
Is that what I'm doing? All
Yes.
right, I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Love it. Great song about
I'm naming ones that I
adultery.
particularly hate. Right. It's true. It is true. I'm naming ones that I personally hate, so that's a better way to do it. Yeah. Whoo, boy. Well, why don't you tell me some of the, if you had to name, like, all right, right off the bat, 5 best.
Okay, Baby Please Come Home, the U2 version. All right? Fairy Tale of New York, of course, by the Pogues.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think I get that.
This great song. Silver Bells, of course. The classic Silver Bells.
Really?
Yes.
Whose rendition? Anybody's or?
Bing Crosby.
Right.
Yeah. I'll take anything involving Jesus. If Jesus is in the song, I like it.
Right.
Yeah. A child is born or something like that kind of thing.
What child is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
I also, growing up Catholic, I had to hear a lot of those Jesus songs a lot, so there might be some residual animosity. I'm not crazy.
Sure,
about
I
on
wasn't inundated with them growing up. That's true.
No, you wouldn't have been. I've had 40 years of Jesus.
Literally, you're 40.
Exactly. Yeah, 40 years of Jesus.
Yeah.
Which is more than Jesus had himself of Christmas. So, by 7. So
Sure.
That's a lot. I like green sleeves. You know,
Yeah.
old traditional. It's a nice one. Particularly, the Vaughan Williams rendition.
There's Santa Claus is Coming to Town, of course, by Bruce Springsteen.
You're really going a very special Christmas on me here.
There's Happy Xmas, War is Over by Jonathan Lennon. There's
Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC.
That's a great one, yeah.
I like that one.
From Die Hard.
I always liked Blue Christmas by Elvis.
That's a great one. I particularly like the Bright Eyes cover of Blue Christmas. Oh, great stuff out there. I like I Wish It Was Christmas Today from Saturday Night Live.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I remember that.
They're all great. King Wenceslas. It's a great one.
You're reaching now.
No, I'm not. I like them all. Hank.
All right.
We did a list of our favorite Christmas movies.
We did. This was a specific request. I believe was that Aussie Scott who requested?
Jesus Christ. See, I thought it was Madison in my head, but I can't remember now.
I can't remember either, but I think it was Aussie Scott. But
well, it was a great idea. It's going to be a whole feature on the show.
It's true. I'm actually checking right now because.
How are you going to check that?
I'm figuring things out.
That's going to take a year, bro.
No, because it was recent.
Wasn't that recent? All right. Hank, I was unable to make a list. What's your list?
What do you mean you were unable to make a list?
I made one, but it's got 21 movies on it.
So you'll just go to the 10. Oh, and it was Aussie Scott.
Oh, wow. Good memory. Thanks, Aussie Scott, for the suggestion.
It wasn't a memory. It was me looking it up. Yeah.
Well, but still, you called that before you looked it up.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yeah. So What are you going to do? You want to run through your 11 and then join me at 10? Or you just want? Come on, you got to man up here and just do 10.
I'll do 10, but I want to mention a few after we're done with the 10.
Well, I have 3 honorable mentions.
Okay, well, fine. What are your honorable mentions?
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Sure.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
And one that I found on an Empire magazine list that I thought was really funny, but when you think about the scenes in it, it's one of the most beautiful looking movies with very stark Christmas images in it. That's right, everybody. Bet you didn't think about Eyes Wide Shut.
No, it occurred to me. I didn't include it. Henry,
Really good, didn't it?
well, it's tough because, okay, I tried to
You know
make...
what I mean. Yeah.
This list is a combo platter. So if you're really looking at my list in order, it's not in order of how good the movie is. I sort of took into consideration how good the movies are, but I also included how much it makes me feel the Christmas spirit.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay. So
Mine was also a combo. I mean, there's a few movies on here I haven't seen for many, many years, and there's even a movie on here that I never, ever, ever want to see for the rest of my life. But I felt like to not include it would be silly because I used to love it. So
I'm also including Christmas movies, non-Christmas movies that take place around Christmas, and Christmas shorts.
Jesus Christ.
Okay?
I didn't know we were doing that. Okay.
Well, it's tough. Like, for instance, I didn't include any Rankin and Basses, and that hurt me. But I got a couple things on here that aren't feature films.
Okay. All right.
So without further ado, should we just do the top 10, or do you want to? Should I mention my honorables?
Go through them.
Okay. Sort of just outside the top 10 here, I do have The Thin Man, the original The Thin Man. Okay.
Okay.
I've got Lethal Weapon. I have Batman Returns.
Oh.
I have The Nightmare Before Christmas. I have Bad Santa. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a film called Surviving Christmas, which is a piece of shit garbage movie that for some reason I'm always compelled to put on around Christmas.
Interesting.
Ben Affleck.
Right.
Yes, he's romancing Christina Applegate in a weird incestuous scheme in James Gandolfini's house.
Huh.
Yes. There's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah, I saw that on a list, but I didn't remember. I love that movie. I don't remember anything about it being a Christmas time.
Mm-hmm. So. There's Die Hard here, which is not a Christmas movie, but takes place at a Christmas party. Mm-hmm. There's Metropolitan, a very good, what's that guy's name? Whit Stillman, that's right. The Ref is a very fine film that takes place on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
And finally, a legit great movie that I watch pretty often around Christmas time, but didn't quite make the list, is Jingle All the Way.
I was waiting for that one.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
So here's the top 10. What's your number 10? Top 10 Christmas movies, Henry.
Bad Santa.
Okay, my number 10 is, of course, Home Alone.
All right. My number 9 is Miracle on 34th Street, the original.
Okay, I'm glad you specified the original because there's a pretty decent remake with old Richard Attenborough.
Yeah, not that one.
My number 9 is... Here, this is an odd one. Just from a few years back is Tangerine.
Oh, I didn't know that was...
It takes place on Christmas Eve, and it's surprisingly Christmassy. It's a little cozy, that movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Then nothing on my list is troublesome to me at all. Nothing. All right. Number 8, Gremlins.
Sure, that is Christmassy.
That's all over that movie. Yeah.
Sure, very homophobic in hindsight, but Christmassy.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
I haven't seen Gremlins in a long, long time. I didn't know that.
I was just talking to somebody about it, and she saw it in the theaters, and she was telling me that parts of it did not hold up.
Interesting. Well, we'll be covering it eventually.
Yeah, well, maybe next Christmas. My number 8 is Ingmar Bergman's Fanny and Alexander. The first section of which is an excellent Christmas movie.
I don't understand why I didn't include Eyes Wide Shut then. What are we doing here? Okay. Number 7, there are sleigh bells and carols all over this fucking movie. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Put you in the Christmas spirit. Number 7, Die Hard.
I knew that was coming, and I'm not happy about it. Listen, but you know what? For this list, I was looking at lists of Christmas movies all over the internet for ideas.
Yeah.
That fucking movie's on all those lists. So listen,
it is.
I understand that I'm in the minority here, but that is not a fucking Christmas movie.
Okay, Tangerine.
All right. My number 7 is Miracle on 34th Street. The original.
Okay. All right, we only have one same movie so far. All right. Number 6. This is the movie I was talking about that I'll never watch again, but can't deny my love for it in the past, and that is A Christmas Story.
Not a fan. Mine.
Really? I didn't know that.
No, it's overrated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm done. But I loved it when I was a kid, and Christmas is a lot of nostalgia stuff, but I'll never watch it.
If I want to watch that shit, I'll find a fucking Christmas episode of The Wonder Years. It's probably better.
So I didn't have any idea you felt that way. I thought I was going to get enormous shit for my comments.
Meh. I mean, you probably will from listeners, but fuck that movie.
That's fine, yeah. Okay, I did not know you felt that way. All right.
My number 6, coming from the guy who just espoused the merits of Surviving Christmas and Jingle All the Way. My number 6, is A Christmas Tale.
Is that the European movie?
I believe it's French, yes.
Yeah, that's the World War one, right?
Yeah.
I saw that movie. That is very good, and I actually almost put it on my list. Yeah, wow, you really did dig into the internet there.
I dug deep.
Yeah, I didn't put that in there. Good movie though. Number 5.
Do you have the thing?
No.
Oh.
I can do it. I mean, you did it last week. Wasn't the effort was there?
Did A Christmas Tale take place at World War One?
I believe so. We're talking about the same movie, right? Where they have a ceasefire and play soccer
with Catherine Deneuve. I haven't seen it in 10 years. You're not thinking of the right movie.
I'm thinking of Joyeux Noel.
Oh no! I've never seen that.
Yeah, I didn't see the one you're talking about, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you.
All
okay.
Right, number 5. I'm gonna do my karaoke rendition. Okay.
Go ahead.
See how my memory holds up. Heavy hitters. These are the grand slams, the slap shots, the 3-pointers, the puck in curling when it gets close to the net.
The circle! Oh my god! You suck at this!
Yeah, I don't know. I'm bad at memorizing songs other people wrote. If I had written it, it would be better.
Understood.
So thanks. Do you want to try it? It's got to be done. Right.
Okay, heavy hitters. These are the grand slams, the slap shots, the 3-pointers, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise heavy hitters.
Wow. Really impressive.
I think I missed one thing, but other than that, pretty good.
We both missed a sport.
Yeah.
Touchdowns,
right? Sure.
That's right. He put in touchdowns. All right. Number 5. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
See, there you go. That's a Rankin and Bass joint, and I didn't include those, but certainly a worthy addition to the Christmas canon. My number 5 is my favorite version of the Christmas Carol, and that is 1951's Scrooge with Alastair Sim.
You have that a little jumbled.
What?
You're talking either about the wrong year or you're talking about another.
No, I'm not.
Alastair Sim was in A Christmas Carol from the 1930s. The original A Christmas Carol. That's Alastair Sim. Look it up right now.
I'm looking it up, and it is known as both Christmas Carol and Scrooge, but it is from 1951.
I've never heard it called Scrooged, and I thought it was way before 1951.
Well, it's not. You piece of shit.
Are you absolutely certain?
I'm looking at it right now.
I gotta pull that out. It's an important pick.
It is. It is a heavy hitter.
It's a very heavy hitter, and I'm just
Can you
surprised.
speak into your mic, please?
I'm sorry because I'm sorry. Uh, let's see what I'm looking at.
Pick up your mic.
Let's see what I'm looking at. How's
Ugh,
that?
it still
Yeah.
sounds the same. What do you got? Hurry
Oh,
up.
you know what? You're right. Wow, there was one before that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought the Alistair Sim was the original. There's a 1938 one.
Yeah. That has nothing to do with Alistair Sim, you dumb shit.
Good call. I should be ashamed of myself. I really
Don't
should.
question me on Christmas.
I shouldn't have, but I did. Yeah. Okay. So that's your number what?
5.
So that's your fifth. Okay. All right. Number 4, Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Yep. It's fun.
Love it.
My number 4 is The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the cartoon, not the
That's a great
not any of the bullshit ones. All right.
pick. Number 3, on the precipice of me never watching it again either, but there may come a time in my life where I do. Number 3, It's a Wonderful Life.
What a film it is. My number 3 is Black Christmas from 1974.
For that.
Yeah, the original great horror movie, one of my favorite slashers of all time, and manages to keep the Christmas spirit firmly in check. And also, I gotta say, a little bit underrated. I'd like to recommend the remake of Black Christmas from 2006.
I've never seen either, if you can believe that.
Both well worth watching.
Yeah.
But see the original first.
Right.
Yeah. But that remake was done by the same dude who did Willard and kind of has that same vibe.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Number 2, Christmas movie of all time, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yep, it's a good one. It's a good one. My number 2 is It's a Wonderful Life.
High up there. Yeah.
As it where it belongs. Also, most of it doesn't take place on Christmas. It's weird that it's like a Christmas classic, but it is a great movie.
Yeah, no, it is a great movie. It's one of those ones, just like a lot of them though, that you get fatigued. But
I don't watch it every year, so it's yeah. I'm not one of those annual viewers, but I'll check it out every few years, and it still holds up. All right, Henry, what's your number 1? What's your
My
number
number
one, Henry?
What's
my James Stewart impression.
Henry!
Oh, Henry!
Listen, you silly, stupid old fool. That's not the best impression I've heard. My car.
All right, what is it?
I'll have a flaming rum punch. The number 1 Christmas movie of all time, and I'm ashamed that I fucked it up, but is the 1951 Alistair Sim.
Oh, that's why you were so confrontational about it.
That's right. It was embarrassing because that movie I could watch several more times, and I think that movie's fantastic. It's a great movie.
Great movie.
I just was mechanical in my head that it was way earlier than that. It looks way earlier than 1951 to me.
That's right. That's called good period filmmaking.
Yeah, for sure. And the number 1 movie for Mr. Christmas over there is...
Well, it's not a movie at all, Henry. It's an animated short. And it is A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Almost made my list.
What a beautiful film it is. It's perfect, incredible dialogue, incredible animation, great, of course, music by Vince Guaraldi. And I love every moment of that thing.
I think that fully counts as a Christmas movie.
Sure.
I don't see how anyone could argue otherwise, really. Yeah.
We're going to get that contingent of listeners that accuses us of putting non-movies on movie lists going nuts this week.
Right, sure. Well, all of mine were, I believe, pretty much feature-length films, except for Rudolph. But I'm sticking by everything I said. I think we had an interesting and
That's my
eclectic
story,
list.
and I'm sticking to it.
That's right.
What was that?
Buffalo Bills won't come out tonight. Won't come out tonight. I'm sorry, you got me started on "It's a Wonderful Life."
I
and
did
can
not
quote it.
have sexual relations with that woman.
The remake of "It's a Wonderful Life" with Bill Clinton.
Oh, that would be great.
Ooh. A Christmas Carol remake with Donald Trump.
No, he's got no redemption
Ghost
story, Hank.
racist Present. Yeah. All the women and all the immigrants visit him. Oh, wow.
The Ghost
Look
of
at that.
Christmas Past, Stormy Daniels.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I-
Okay. Let's get off Trump. I don't feel like it. It's Christmas time. Let's talk about happy things.
Do it.
Hey, I'll tell you what I'm happy to do. Talk. Oh, wait. Should we do our 1994 list? No. Let's talk about the Santa Claus. Henry,
Oh, yeah, give the stats and all that, and then
Yeah.
we'll do 94.
we're talking about the Santa Claus here. And you might be thinking, don't you mean Santa Claus, the movie with Dudley Moore? And I say, no, the Santa Claus. And you're saying, what do you mean, the Santa Claus? Why would he have a the in front of his name? And I'm like, well, they popped an E at the end of Claus. We're talking about a legal document. And that's what this movie's about.
Speaking of which, I did see the Dudley Moore movie in theaters when I was a youngster.
Did he win a Golden Globe for it?
I hope so.
Probably. They love him.
Probably beat Eddie Murphy, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Bill Murray, right?
Probably. Well, Bill Murray was, this movie, The Santa Claus, was written for Bill Murray. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, but he turned it down. I believe it was then offered to Chevy Chase.
Ooh.
He turned it down. Then third choice there, you got Tim Allen.
Boy, he really is everyone's third choice or 30th. That would have been something else. I mean, to see Bill Murray or Chevy Chase in this, but it still couldn't have helped certain aspects. But, you know, I would have liked that. That would have been nice.
Well, Tim Allen had clout, and once he was involved in the package, he got director approval on this baby. So he chose a fellow named John Pasquin, Henry, who directed the pilot as well as 38 other episodes of Home Improvement.
Can I just say something for the record that's never been said on the show?
Tell me.
That show sucks.
Oh, Henry, has that never been said on the show?
Not on this show.
That show is,
Me.
it is garbage.
It's fucking garbage. I hated it when it was on.
I liked it when it was on. That's the problem.
Well, I was a little older than you.
Yeah.
You have an excuse. I remember all the fucking idiots I went to high school with. Like, that was like the fucking show. And, you know, I was a Seinfeld guy. And so my superior intelligence shone through even back then when all these imbeciles were choosing to laugh at fucking Tim Allen jokes. You know, I mean, it's just a fucking piece of garbage.
For our younger listeners, Home Improvement was a show about a fella named Tim the Toolman Taylor, and he had a tool belt and a television show called Tool Time. And he was like a carpenter, I guess.
Fucking no.
He was an all-purpose handyman, and he would
Take that fence down across his neighbor's lawn, though. He wasn't that good.
what?
You remember that? That was like that was supposed to be funny, where he could never see his neighbor, just hear him.
Well, I always thought maybe the neighbor was like some kind of fucking circus freak missing half his head. His neighbor didn't have a fucking jaw.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
He had a friend named Al Borland. That dude later hosted Family Feud. And he would host Tool Time with Al Borland and Jenny McCarthy, I believe, and Pamela Anderson at different times were on there. And he would always, some kind of calamity, right?
as per the 90s.
He would always get set on fire or something, and then, he'd go, "Oh, oh, oh, oh." And all the jokes on that show were just like, God, my wife is a fucking cunt. What a bitch this wife is. I gotta go hang out and drink beers with my friends.
Right, and that was network television used to allow language like that on, ABC.
As long as it was about some fucking dumb wife.
Right, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny thing about that wife, former guest Nathaniel Safran, was the wife on Home Improvement was his first childhood crush.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
A little bit.
Her and Lauryn Hill, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quite different.
Yeah.
All right.
A wide range of taste.
Yeah.
So Tim the Toolman Taylor. Henry, so John Pasquin, he directed that shit, and he's gone on to pretty much just have a career of working with Tim Allen. He, after the Santa Claus, he directed Jungle to Jungle. Sure. Now, that is not a sequel, despite the presence of the number 2 in the title. It is a remake, though, of a French film, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It is not a sequel to Jungle One Jungle?
No. And, it's also worse than the Santa Claus.
Okay.
I promise you it is. 2001, he does Joe Somebody. Then he branches out, Henry. He's like, I'm going to make a non-Allen film.
Okay.
He directs Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous.
Ooh.
All right?
All right.
And since then, he's just done TV. That was his last movie. He directs a ton of episodes of that show, Last Man Standing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the premise of that show, Henry, have you watched that show?
I think when it first started, but if we're thinking about the same show, go ahead.
Well, that show ups the ante on Home Improvement because that show is about he lives in a house with, like, all women. He's got a wife, a daughter, maybe another daughter. He's got, like, maybe another daughter, maybe maybe a sister-in-law, something like that. And so the premise of that show is all the jokes are like, look, not just this one, look at all these cunts. How do I deal with this? I need a beer.
Right. The working title when they wanted to keep it a secret was Too Many Cunts.
Sure.
That catchphrase was really irritating at the time. And I nominate by a mile and a half What's Drift as a much funnier and catchy line.
What's Drift is better, of course. What's Drift? What's Drift?
Yeah.
Right. God. I'm so excited for Hobbs and Shaw this summer, Henry.
If I knew what you were talking about, I might be excited.
The new Fast and Furious spinoff with just Statham and The Rock.
Oh, all right. Oh boy, I guess we're going to be covering that.
You better believe we will, Henry. So the Santa Claus, written by the writing team of Steve Rudnick and Leo Benvenuti.
They wrote Network, right?
No, that was Patty Chayefsky.
Oh, sorry.
They got their starts writing for such comic luminaries as Dennis Miller and Tom Arnold. And then they took their talents to the silver screen and wrote the Santa Claus.
Oh wow! Okay,
They followed that up with the Space Jam.
All right.
Then they wrote Kicking and Screaming. No, not the Great Coming of Age tale by Noah Baumbach. Of course,
I was just going to say
the Will Ferrell soccer comedy.
There you go.
And since then, they haven't really done much.
Okay.
All right, so that's these guys. I do love Space Jam.
Yeah, I never saw it, so.
Well, we'll cover it when the LeBron one comes out, I guess.
Sure.
Ooh, Henry, breaking up a little bit. Henry, this movie came out November 11th, 1994, just in time for the holiday season.
Yeah, a little early though, huh?
It is a little early. I was thinking about that. But I think that's
Well,
what
odd.
they do, man. Like, didn't that Grinch movie come out in November this year?
Yeah, you're right. Maybe thinking, ooh, it'll catch fire and word of mouth will keep us going right through Christmas.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
did. I mean, that movie's a hit. But it's odd because, like, back then, I feel like it was a thing where Christmas started after Thanksgiving. Now it starts, like, during Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and this movie raked in the money.
It did. On a budget of $22 million, this movie made $189.8 million. It came in at number 4, Henry, at the box office.
Jesus Christ.
What a hit it was. They wanted to put this sequel on the fast track, and, it inspired Disney. They were like, well, I guess we'll start hiring felons from now on, because it worked out for us that one time.
Hiring felons?
Yeah, Disney had a no felon policy before this movie, but they made an exception for Tim Allen, who, of course, was busted for trafficking cocaine at one point, I think.
Oh, I forgot about that. When was that?
I don't know, late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, okay. All right.
I feel like Tim Allen's one of these dudes with skeletons in his closet. He's got a couple of Chappaquiddick's on his resume.
Yeah, but he glosses it. They gloss it over. Yeah, he's a wholesome guy.
He is a wholesome guy, It's good, clean, get these fucking women out of my house comedy.
Right. It's Buzz Lightyear, guys.
It is Buzz Lightyear. You always have to give Tim Allen that, huh?
I guess. I mean, I feel like we could have probably gotten anyone to do that, but
No, Henry, that's unfair to the voice acting community. I really do think Tim Allen is good casting in that role.
I meant no disrespect to the voice acting community. However, I appreciate you throwing me under the bus on that one. All I meant was I think someone else.
Henry, now you got to get away from your mic.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I feel like another actor could have just done it, and then we wouldn't have to. In an alternate universe, we could be talking about Buzz Lightyear with some other actor. So,
I mean, look,
Mitchell is Tim Allen to that voice.
I guess we didn't know how big Toy Story was gonna be. It's almost like you got Tom Hanks as Woody, so like you can almost have anyone as Buzz, and Tom Hanks balances him out in terms of wholesomeness.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Don't you think so? You could have like OJ play Buzz Lightyear.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
You could have
Woody.
like one of the Duggar kids or something.
Actually, this is the time of the Menendez. You could have had one of the Menendez brothers play Buzz Lightyear.
Sure, have them double team it.
Right. The twin rule where you get one can only work a certain amount of hours, and then you got to get the other one off. So it's fun.
They should have played Michelle on Full House. Boy, that Menendez house was a full house, man. It was a little too full for the Menendez boys.
Well, full that much anymore. Yeah,
That's true. They cleared house.
It's a halfway house.
That's what
am I
Danny
right?
Tanner should have done, man. It's a way to empty out that house. Might not be so wholesome, but it'll work.
Hey. Yeah. Oh, my.
Okay, do you want to talk about the Santa Claus? Or do you want to do the number 4 list?
Yeah.
Okay, I have mine. What's your number 10?
My number 10, making its list re-debut after my months-long argument with Dan about Crumb. Dan wins. It is a 94 film, but not released in this country in the United States until 95.
So Crumb is no longer there.
Thank you. Thank you for that. That's very gratifying.
Yeah, I wanted to give you credit where credit's due. Number 10 is Ed Wood.
What a film it is. My number 10 is Red Rock West.
What a film that is. Number 9, Immortal Beloved.
Sure. Number 9 is Speed.
Number 8 is Heavenly Creatures.
My number 8 is Crooklyn.
My number 7 is Speed.
My number 7 is Clerks.
My number 6 is Death and the Maiden.
My number 6 is Spanking the Monkey.
There you go. My number 5, the heavy hitters, Clerks.
My number 5 is Leon the Professional. Boy, Luc Besson in the news lately. He's been Me Too'd.
Oh, has he now?
Yeah, it's odd. You don't hear about it much because he's only been Me Too'd in the French film community. No American actresses coming at this guy. But he's been heavily Me Too'd over there in France.
Wow, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Okay.
Questionable stuff. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder who, like Juliette Binoche or...
No one you've ever heard of. He's smart enough not to molest Juliette Binoche. But, it came out, and it seems like one of these ones that is just, like, obviously true.
Right. Number 4, Red Rock West.
Okay, number 4, Ed Wood.
Number 3, Hoop Dreams.
Yeah, oh, great. Oh, you finally added that. My number 3 is Heavenly Creatures.
All right. Number 2, The Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh. My number 2 is Hoop Dreams. And the number 1 movie of 1994 is Pulp Fiction. Okay,
That's right.
The Santa Claus, it opens at an office holiday party. What a classic setting. Henry, I had my office holiday party today.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. How was that?
It was very nice. You walk around with a plate of food. I had a cup of water. I wasn't partaking in the devil's drink. There was soul food, so the food was pretty good. And, I chatted with a couple of folks.
Yeah.
It was fine.
You did your duty.
Yeah. Someone was DJing with some pretty good current hip-hop that was not like the obvious choices, so I was into that.
Oh, all right. Did you go compliment?
I Shazammed a couple times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. You know I don't know what that means.
What? Shazam! It's the most useful app in the world, Henry. Download it right now. It's if you hear a song, you don't know what it is.
Oh!
You press the thing and it tells you.
Right. That's been around for quite a while, right?
It sure has, but it's only the tech is getting better.
Oh, well, then I gotta have it. By the time I download it, it will be gone.
It's been around for years, Henry. It's never going away.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're more into music than me. I wouldn't be around anywhere where I'd be like, oh, I gotta know where this song came from.
That can't be true. You watch movies. They play songs in those.
And I wait for the credits to be over, and I watch where they...
You're a fucking maniac.
I mean, I'm not that impatient. I can wait for the credits.
Oh, you finally started to sound better. What were you doing before?
Absolutely nothing. I just adjusted my seat because the phlegm in my chest is building up from my cold.
Oh God, shut up. Yeah. All right, so we open at an office Christmas party, all right? They bring up the two team leads to give a speech. First, it's a black woman, and I'm applauding this movie's attempt at diversity. And she gets about 2 words out, and Tim Allen grabs the mic from her.
He absolutely does, yeah.
He just snatches it from her hand, and she never gets another line of dialogue for the rest of the movie. And he does some crowd work.
Yeah.
Tim Allen,
Yeah.
of course, a noted stand-up comic. He makes a joke about a guy fucking his secretary about 30 seconds into this family comedy. Right, Hank?
I'm sorry, you broke up there.
No, I didn't. You did. You suck. So he makes a joke. He says something like, "Hey, I guess his wife isn't at the party because his secretary's sitting on his lap."
Which made me hope that his wife wasn't at the party, because that would be bad.
Well, she wasn't at the party.
Well, she might have been. He just makes that assumption.
I guess that's true, but don't you want to see the fireworks of the wife discovering?
I would have given anything to see that in this movie. Yes.
It would have been a weird way to start the movie.
Yeah, really weird. With some marital strife that wasn't manufactured.
Well, there is manufactured strife in this movie because there's a broken home situation, Henry.
There really is a broken home situation, but how broken can it be when you have Tim Allen to choose from and the lovely Judge Reinhold?
It is true. They want you to root for the wife to get back with Tim Allen or something,
Yeah.
and the whole time you're just like, Judge Reinhold seems like a great guy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, and it's really just Judge Reinhold's presence and demeanor. So you're just like, I don't care if he's saying, stupid pseudo shrink lines. He's still far more tolerable than being around Tim Allen.
Well, yeah, Tim Allen plays Scott Calvin in this movie, initials SC like Santa Claus, and he's got a son named Charlie. And Charlie, so his wife, his ex-wife now, is living with this fella played by Judge Reinhold. And this is the kind of role in movies like this, shitty movies, where the role of the stepdad is usually like some kind of fucking asshole or even just some kind of square. And in this movie, the best ammo Tim Allen has against this guy is, you wear ugly sweaters.
Right. And
because he's charming as Judge Reinhold.
Yeah. You're not a doctor, you're a psychiatrist. Yeah.
Every time Allen's on screen, I'm like, get off. I want to follow what Judge Reinhold's up to.
You want to sit in on one of his sessions like he's Gabriel Byrne and in treatment.
Ugh. Sounds boring to me. I know. Now,
48 episodes. Yeah.
What?
I said all 48,000 episodes. I do wish Wendy Crewson was given a little bit more to do. I thought, now you must be familiar with her. I was not.
I have no idea who this person is.
Oh! I thought you were going to come at me with some kind of she was in some 90s show I'd never heard of or something.
I mean, she probably was. She has 1,000 credits on IMDb, but I'm searching through here and I've seen her in 100 things.
Oh.
She just doesn't really make a mark. The best I got for you, Hank. Here's what I like her in. She's the mom in The Good Son.
Okay.
Right. So Macaulay Culkin drowned her kid in the tub or something, and now whatever. And at the end of the movie, she chooses Elijah Wood. I don't want to spoil The Good Son for anybody. But that's a legit all-time classic that you got to see.
And if you were wondering, if you went into this movie not knowing what year it was or what decade, I'm no Phantom Thread over here, but when Wendy Crewson comes on there with that T-shirt tucked into the jeans hike tie with the 90s bob.
The hair is bad, man.
Oh, boy.
I watched Dangerous Minds last night.
Well, Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah. And that's a horrible movie. But I will say, we just watched Batman Returns with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Dangerous Minds is only 3 years later, and she looks disgusting. And it's all because of that hair.
Oh, really? She got a bad hairdo in
She's
that?
got that 90s fucking bob. It was a plague on the land.
It was. Yeah, it really was. It couldn't be escaped. There was the feather stuff going on in the 80s. Every decade has its bad dues.
Put those bangs away, ladies.
Right, that was a pretty bad era. I don't know how that was decided upon. Yeah, it's not good.
I'm not certain. So, it's Christmas time, Henry, and Tim Allen gets the kid for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, send him back.
What?
Send him back, I said.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
The kid, send him back. You said he got a kid. I said send him back.
What's happening?
What? You can't hear me?
Send him back? To
Send
where?
the kid back. You said Tim Allen got a kid for Christmas.
Well, he gets the kid for Christmas Eve.
Oh my God, it's a fucking joke.
It's a bad joke. I don't even understand it.
Forget it.
Okay.
Like he's a gift, send him back.
Okay.
Terrible. Jesus.
The kid? Oh, you're making fun of the kid.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God. Like
I was really
Twilight Zone.
I was really trying there, man.
I thought you lost connection or something.
No, I'm here. I'm just not understanding what your joke means.
Okay, I'll let you continue. I'll take a break.
No, who's this kid? Has he been in stuff? I feel like he's one of these kids that's been in a lot of stuff.
We just covered this kid.
What are you talking about?
Believe it or not. His name is Eric.
Oh, Eric what?
Eric Lloyd.
Okay.
And he was the young Bruce Wayne in Batman and Robin.
Really?
Yeah. When Clooney's having some flashbacks.
Oh, Henry, he falls in the hallway at Wayne Manor.
There you go.
And Alfred helps him get up.
There you go.
All right, I know this kid. I'm looking at him right now. Hey, he's in Deconstructing Harry. You familiar?
I know. I remember him in that, and he's better in that, but he's...
Oh, he's in Dunstan Checks In.
Oh, the Ape movie.
Yeah, there were a lot of ape movies in the 90s. How many ape movies can you remember off the top of your head?
I remember the one with Rene Russo.
Oh, Buddy.
Buddy. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
There was Monkey Trouble with Thora Birch.
There was that guy from Friends. What's his name? He was in
Matt LeBlanc. He's playing baseball with a monkey. And Ed.
Mighty Joe Young.
That's a good one. Sure, Congo.
Instinct.
In the 90s, we liked monkeys.
We were real big fans, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I bet there's more we're not even thinking about, man.
Well, I'm impressed with that list right there.
It is pretty good. That was a strong list off the dome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's Christmas Eve. He's got to make dinner for this kid. Hey, Jake Lloyd, by the way. I mean, Eric Lloyd? Is it any relation to
Eric
Jake Lloyd?
I don't know.
Yo, when Tim Allen was flying around in that sleigh, you know what Eric Lloyd should have said?
What?
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Yeah, I hated this kid so much that he made Tim Allen tolerable.
You're nuts.
All this kid does for 2 fucking hours or 97 minutes is fucking whine. All he does is whine.
It's not the actor's fault.
No, but every line is delivered with a, well, I get to do what I want on Christmas. And then he's got the temerity. He's in the sleigh, Santa Claus's actual sleigh with fucking reindeer. And, Tim Allen's like, oh, ho, 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 we can't go here, we gotta go. And the kid's like, why don't anything I want to do ever matter? It's like, motherfucker, you just had a transformative experience. If your dad does say get out of the sleigh, get out of the sleigh. Shut the fuck up. He's awful. Oh.
Well, one thing this motherfucker can't do is keep his goddamn mouth shut. Because the kid is running around telling everybody that his dad is Santa Claus. And it's just like, dude, keep it cool. Your dad is basically a superhero. You got to keep his secret identity here. He gets in front of his fucking class. His dad starts talking about being a toy maker, which is a pretty goddamn cool job when you're a kid. And he's like, don't tell them that boring shit. You're Santa Claus.
That's what I mean. All he does is complain.
Yeah. So let's get to the main plot.
Oh, let's.
So Tim the Toolman Taylor really comes back in earnest here because on Christmas Eve he tries to make a turkey and has to use a fire extinguisher. He's bad. This guy can't use household appliances.
No, it's he gets to be in his element, I guess. Right? Is that it's what he does? Correct, Tim?
Yeah, household tool jokes.
Right. Well, he's a household tool, all right. So he gets.
Henry, do you think that oven was a Binford?
I was going more for it was an Oster.
Sure.
Or do they make toilets? Am I thinking of toilets?
You know what company makes toilets that's very apropos that I realized recently? Toto. Okay. So he's bad in the kitchen. So he has to take the kid out to dinner for Christmas Eve. They go to Denny's, Henry. Big Denny's product placement. You know who's in Denny's?
I didn't know it was. Was I supposed to know one of those?
No, there were a lot of Japanese businessmen.
Oh yeah, well of course because Mm-hmm.
I didn't even get that joke. It seemed racist, but what did it mean?
It is racist. It's actually doubly racist because, in A Christmas Story, the only restaurant that's open is a Chinese restaurant. Okay, because they're not doing Christmas and they stay open. So in this one, what are we saying? We're doubling down on the racism and we're going to Denny's, but we're going to fill it with Japanese businessmen, not China. Like I thought for sure, well, they're going to go to a Chinese restaurant because it's the easy way out. It's the easy joke. No, they go to a Denny's and for no reason they fill it with Asian businessmen. I didn't.
But why?
I
don't get the joke.
It's easy.
What are
laugh
they doing? But what is the laugh? What are they doing there?
Baby boomers, when they were, in 1994, will laugh at anything where there's somebody going, haw, hee haw. That's it. That's funny.
That was pretty funny when you did it just now.
Yeah, and that was for that special listener that we got a year ago, who did not care for your Star Wars racism.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. That was just about this time last year.
It was on one of those Star Wars episodes. So there you go. That was for you. Yeah.
Sure. So they come back home, and what happens? They hear something going on the roof. He goes outside. It's Santa Claus.
Right.
And then he scares Santa, and Santa falls off the roof, and he dies.
Yeah, which, led me to ask a few practical questions at that juncture, which was, first of all, Santa is very easily spooked.
Yeah, this must happen all the time.
I mean, we must be on our 9 millionth Santa at this point, because I feel like a veteran of Santa's age and
you don't know that, Henry. There might have been a Santa that was Santa for like 1 million years, and then he got spooked, and then this guy is just like a fucking chud Santa, and it was like his first house, and he died.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, he could be. Maybe that's why when Tim Allen takes over the role, nobody in the North Pole seems to give a shit.
Well, that's true. You would think they're holding some kind of like hero's funeral for.
Yeah, like a vigil.
Yeah, you're like sort of like the end of Saving Private Ryan.
Right. They all go visit the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Do you
nothing.
think there's like a sort of like a long graveyard in the North Pole of all the
I would
former
imagine-
Santas?
Yeah. Like Mr. Freeze's ice sculptures, where they're made up, in sort of statuesque proportions. Especially if most of them perished, in American suburban houses, they probably couldn't recover the body. So, but I would
mean,
imagine.
you got to assume, Henry, most of them did not die in this way. This had to have been a pussy way for a Santa to die. Most of them probably died in like delivering gifts in fucking Kuwait or something.
Delivering gifts in Kuwait or crossing the wrong lawn in Florida. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So,
They died delivering gifts to the one kid who has to live in a meth den in Florida because of his dad.
yeah. Or, anybody who you don't get on my property thing, So, you can't really go on everybody's roof in this country. But, so, I don't know. I imagine there's a giant, long, it's a great visual, actually, in the North
We'll
Pole.
see it in one of the sequels.
Ooh, Santa Graveyard coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, it could be a really scary thing for a kid, but I saw this movie as a kid and I didn't think it was scary. And I think the key here is as soon as Santa dies, and they do give him one last death twitch before he dies. Like,
Yeah, it's like a bye-bye.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
He disappears.
Right.
It's sort of like when you kill a vampire and they turn to dust.
Right. Yeah, he just goes up into the ether of Joyeux Noel, into the stars.
Where is he, do you think? Is there like a heaven for Santas?
I would imagine that Santa Claus, of all people, would not be allowed into the Christian heaven because of the bastardization of the Christ story. So I would think Santa is probably in the other place, probably having a hell of a time. I mean, think about it. He's overweight, he eats too much, he drinks too much. Where would he rather be?
It's true. This guy's a glutton.
Yeah, he's probably in hell having a great time. So it's probably where he went. I mean, he was probably like, bye-bye, I'm good sayonara.
Boy, the heaven-hell thing, that's the ultimate naughty nice list, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was taught as a Catholic. Yeah.
Sure. So, there's a note in Santa's jacket, which is pretty morbid that he has to carry this note around all the time.
I think he carries it like as an insurance card because he knows he's no good at his job.
You think like before he left, David Krumholtz was like, take this note, you might need this thing.
100%. And since he's clearly either divorced or a widow, because I don't catch a glimpse nary here nor there of Mrs. Claus.
I think that might be the plot of the sequel. He's got to find a Mrs. Claus.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, so it must be Bernard Hardy Har, I guess, the name. I don't know.
Why is that funny?
It's not. That's why I wondered why they called him Bernard instead
It's
of
his
just
name.
Mickey or something,
I like the name Bernard, okay? That didn't bother me.
I think it's supposed to be a laugh.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
I think there's a lot of things in here that are supposed to be laughs, but are just like the Japanese peasant.
Yeah, but see, that I knew was supposed to be a laugh. I just didn't get why. I don't know why Bernard would be a laugh. To me, most of the things that are supposed to be laughs in this movie are pretty obvious. I mean, we don't meet a reindeer for 3 minutes before we get our first reindeer fart.
How about those animatronic reindeer?
Boy, Henry.
Well, I mean, when we got the glimpse of them on the roof, my mind did go, wow, that'd be kind of cool. Do we have did we get 8 reindeer for this movie? That'd be neat if they just treated them like real animals, that they got real animals, that'd be cool. No, they didn't. We had to give them facial expressions and...
Yeah. They all look like that movie Strange Wilderness. The special effects in this movie are really bad.
They are beyond.
Like incredibly, like to the point where I guess at the time special effects in most movies weren't very good, but like
I don't know, man. This is a year after Jurassic Park. For
I
fuck's
know, you're right. And this is an effects heavy movie. There's effects all over this movie. And I don't remember as a kid noting that they were bad. But I guess I'm a kid. I'm a dumb piece of shit little kid.
Well, the thing is that it's
Do you
not
know that
just
I'm
like-
as old as the kid in this movie?
Oh, he's 8 in the movie?
Well, I looked up me and the kid, and like we're like a month apart or something. In
Oh,
terms
look
of
at that.
age. Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, it was funny. I know. I mean, obviously, the obvious ones are like when he's going down the chimney and shit. But
Oh my god.
but they didn't even take the time on the production design, like for the set design or the props. Like when those elves, and I say elves, not elves, because they call themselves the Elf Squad. When they're running around,
Henry, we're your worst nightmare. Elves with attitude. That was in the trailer, I think.
yeah, when they're running around with like those proton packs, and they literally look like right before they yelled action, they were like, "Okay, kids, on the set, get some construction paper and some crayons and go to town and make a little knapsack." And it's just like, boy, we really didn't, you know. And then they lower the sleigh into the North Pole like wilderness, and the guy pulls out like a fucking pocket calculator.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Like we can't even get like Back to the Future type of digitronics on this
That
thing.
is weird. You get a little digital readout. I like the little pole that came up, the North Pole. So the reindeers look like garbage flying around, and like that fucking chimney appears in that one house that looks like garbage. It's really bad. So
Well, reindeer are really filthy animals if you've ever seen one.
oh,
So
You
so
mean-
we call them garbage. Yeah,
keep
Hey,
the
you know,
keep the change, you filthy animal.
right. They just they just kind of root around in their own shit all day. Of course, having only seen them in captivity, I guess that's to be expected. So yeah.
Sure.
Not so majestic. Anyway, continue. Yes, the chimneys and.
Oh, well, whatever. That one little girl's kind of cute that he sees with the missing her teeth.
She was like the best actor in the movie.
She might be my MVP. She was
Yeah.
she was like a good kid actress to the point where I looked up to see if she'd been in anything else. And
Yeah, I didn't go that far, but she was she in anything else?
I think she was in one episode of Home Improvement.
Yeah, she actually has a little bit of attitude. Says her lines.
Elves with attitude.
Yeah, that squad was that was tough to take.
There are two performances in this movie that aren't insufferable, Henry.
All right, that's going to be. You're going to say. I'm going to give you 3 choices. Peter Boyle.
I forgot Peter Boyle's even in this movie. He's fine. He's doing his Peter Boyle thing.
Exactly. Okay, so then forget him. You're going to say David Krumholtz,
Yeah.
and you're going to say Judge Reinhold.
Oh, I forgot about Reinhold. Oh, I was going to say that little girl in David Krumholtz, but you're right. Judge Reinhold's really good. He's the MVP, actually, Judge Reinhold.
Agreed. Yeah, well, yeah, I agree. He is the MVP.
So,
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
So they come back from Christmas, and Tim Allen's like, "This seems all right. I'll come once a year. I'll be Santa. I can handle that shit."
It's not a big commitment.
No, but see, it gets in your genes, Henry. It sort of changes the makeup of your body chemistry. You very quickly gain weight. It's almost like the reverse of that movie Thinner.
Right. A much better movie.
I agree. You very quickly gain weight. Your hair turns white. You grow a white beard. You try to shave that thing, it grows right back. He gets up. There's that one scene where he wakes up from bed, immediately gets up, farts, because you need another fart, and then goes... And then he goes to the bathroom. He's got a beard and a belly. He's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's kind of, his hair is put up into like a flock of seagulls do there, so that's real nice. He has
He's
to
a little
shave.
seagullsy.
Yeah, he has to shave like 8 times a day, kind of like you.
Me?
Yeah.
I
Don't you have?
I shave every 3 days, Henry.
Oh no, but you told me once you grow facial hair very, very fast.
Yeah, but I guess like it's sort of like I shave in the morning and then by the night I've got my optimal level of facial hair.
Wow. No, that's impressive. Yeah, yeah.
Sure. I'm not some kind of Armenian.
Oh.
So he
I love that Armenian is what came to your head.
they're hairy, right?
I mean, you could have said anything. You could have said Turkish. You could have said, there's tons to choose from.
I've known some Armenians in my life,
I see.
and I was a fan of System of a Down.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Sure. So he gains all that weight, and the kid's telling everybody that he's Santa Claus. The fucking mom has no idea what the fuck's going on. He gets put in like a mental institution. They take the kid away from him. It's this crazy thing, and it's all the kid's fault.
Of course it
Tim
is.
Allen's handling the whole thing pretty well, like better than you'd think. Like he's like,
Yeah,
hey,
he does.
I'm a fat guy with a white beard now. What do you want?
Right. He's surprisingly unfazed by everyone else's horror. Yeah.
They deliver a bunch of boxes to his house with the original Federal Express logo, which was nice to see, and and it's the naughty or nice list.
Right. And something occurred to me that never occurred to me in my whole lifespan, which is almost half over. When he gets the list,
You think you're almost half over?
I'm definitely half over.
You think you're living that long with all those black and milds?
No. I'm under no illusions, guys. I got another 5 to 10.
You got more than that, but you're 2/3 done.
Yeah, I'm definitely 2/3. When he pulls out that list, it actually did occur to me, the old saying, and they say it in the movie, making a list, checking it twice. It's like, why would you have to check it twice? Because what a time-consuming thing it really would be.
And can't you hire an editor?
Well, right. I mean,
you can write the rough draft of the list and then get Bernard to update it or something.
Yeah, I mean, and he has like 4,000 miniature, underpaid or no-paid white worker slaves. I mean, he could have them do it.
I think they get paid in like candy and toys.
Candy, the North Pole sweatshop. Yeah. So they could go over. I mean, my God, would that take a long time? Where's Alfred when you need him? Am I right?
And how does he know? Does he have some kind of powers? Like he can, like being John Malkovich, all these kids?
I guess because, other than that, the only knowledge we see is that shot of him walking down the street, happening to know like 5 people, and then he gets to make that nice comment to that lady that walks by.
What does he say?
I think he just goes something like, "Oh, and the lovely lady, very nice."
Oh, right. I remember that. Yeah. She's a lecherous Santa Claus.
Yeah, and she says something like, "In your dreams, fatso."
And he goes like, "Oh."
Right. It's funny.
There's a few of those. Like he definitely uses some home improvement-isms in this movie.
Of course he does. He can't fucking help it. It's in his.
He does it in everything I've ever seen him in.
I can't help it, man. Yeah.
He doesn't do that in that fucking
Galaxy Quest.
Well, I can't remember Galaxy Quest. People like that movie, right? That's a movie people will defend to the high heavens.
I wouldn't do that, but I do remember seeing it, and not in the theater, but I did see it. And
I saw it in theaters, and I remember thinking it was okay.
So did I. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I also saw him in that, what's the guy's name? The fucking Addams Family guy who did Men in Black.
He
was Tim Burton's cinematographer.
Oh, Barry Sonnenfeld.
That movie, Big Trouble.
Oh, Okay.
You know that
Alright.
one? It got delayed because of 9/11 because there's like a whole set piece involving a bomb in an airport.
Oh, it's been a while since we've referenced. Yeah.
9/11.
Yeah. Man, we made it through like 8 Batman films without talking, or maybe we didn't. It must have come up at some.
I'm sure it came up.
It had to.
Sure. So anyway, where are we in this movie?
But he undergoes these physical changes. He orders some lunch in front of his coworkers,
Yeah, he
who
slobbers all over that shit.
are frankly extremely judgmental pricks, if you ask me. So he orders a big lunch. I mean, fucking leave this guy alone.
Yeah, it's not like this guy has a job that requires him to be handsome.
Right, like they're all commenting on his weight, and I mean, maybe showing up to work in your pajamas, I can maybe understand that one, but so he orders a sundae.
Yeah, like what? Peter Boyle is some prize?
Yeah, I know. Not exactly a fitness guru going on there. Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. Peter Boyle. R.I.P. Peter Boyle.
Nice.
Thanks, bro.
Nice. Yeah. Woo! Peter Boyle was great, though.
In this movie or in life?
No.
No, totally. Yeah, I love Peter Boyle in stuff in general.
I too. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Everybody loves Peter Boyle, am I right?
I don't see. Oh, I get it because of the Raymond show.
Yeah.
So, this movie doesn't have much of a plot after that. You know what's the craziest thing about this movie?
Tell me.
He becomes Santa on Christmas, right?
Right.
And then, like, the climax of the movie takes place on Christmas. So the events of this movie happen over the course of a full year?
It didn't really feel like that.
It feels like a week.
Yeah, it actually literally feels like a week. Like
It yes?
Event that occurs within
Oh, you're breaking
the playground.
Great. You sound great.
The playground, the school, it all seems like it's within about a week. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It really does. It's an odd timeline, this movie. Like it's almost never summer, right? It's Christmas time. Christmas happens. It's just sort of like Christmas again.
Right. Yeah, and where are they? They're in California?
They can't be in California because there's snow on the ground, which looks like garbage. There's just asbestos falling on people this whole movie.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. They're like, what am I talking about? You're right. They're in like, I think it's Chicago.
I think you're right.
Because when he's flying around the city, it certainly looks like Chicago in that amazing special effects scene, which is not an home improvement on Superman flying around, which is much more realistic.
Yeah, it looks totally worse than that. Why didn't they just do that? They could have had it be like just a green screen.
I don't know. Maybe because the director has only directed Home Improvement.
That's a good point, man. Well, not only Home Improvement. I think he directed a bunch of Roseanne too. It's almost like he only works with bigoted pricks.
Right. That's his. He has one. Disney has a felon rule, and this guy has a prick rule. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is one himself, or he's that kind of director. He just wants to work with the most irritating backwards assholes to enhance his own lack of creativity.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, are we done with this movie? Do you have anything else to say?
I feel like I'm done.
There's one line that made me laugh out loud. I'll admit that.
Ooh, go ahead.
It's a real throwaway line, but I did write it down because, it made me laugh.
Yeah.
And it's like he thinks it's Bernard. He thinks someone's flirting with him at one point. And he goes, thanks, but I'm seeing someone in rapping.
That was real throwaway. I didn't catch that at all.
It made me laugh.
Yeah, This movie was like the opposite of covering a movie. Well, obviously, but in a movie like Ghostbusters, where I started writing down funny lines and then I just gave up like 5 minutes into the movie because it's an impossible task. And then in this one, I don't blame you. You're like, ooh, a funny line. Oh, shit. Yeah.
No, this was the kind of movie where I started writing down every time anything farted, and
Right. Well,
it just got too overwhelming. I stopped.
yeah, you had to count, for Christ's sakes. I mean, it was pretty good.
Yeah. All right. What do you give The Santa Claus?
For me, this was a real sit-through. It's going to be one of my new phrases I use.
You're just sitting through it rather than watching it?
Yeah. So
I hear you, man.
Just came up with that.
I like it. It's a real sit-through.
Thank you. I'm kind of happy with that. It was 97 minutes, 92 before credits, and it really felt long. I think it took me three separate sittings. I had to go do some stuff and then come back and do some stuff and come back. It's a real piece of shit. It's not the worst movie we've ever covered.
Not even close, I would say.
But it's up there. It wasn't to me as painful as those Home Alones.
You think that this is better than Home Alone?
No. I just they're equally certain. Home Alone has John Candy in it, so that was there for that. No, it's a 1-star movie. It's garbage.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 2.
Yeah. The other reason it's a 1-star, and I'll bring in a reference point here. So we just named, like, between the two of us, we named almost 30 Christmas movies, and all of them have some merit of some kind, in even the littlest way, and
Sure.
This has none. I mean, it just.
But it is
never
a Christmas
watched it.
movie. It feels Christmassy. I can't bring myself to give it a 1. I think it's a 2. Plus, I suspect we might be going down a rabbit hole after this one.
I think your suspicions are probably well-founded. I'm not worried about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Start at a 1, see where it goes.
Now, I'm going to give it a 2. Who's your MVP?
The Judge.
Yeah, the Judge is the MVP for sure. Who's your LVP?
The Kid.
The Kid.
Yeah. However,
I'll just go straight up Tim Allen on this one.
oh, good for you.
Thanks.
I obviously wanted to do that, but I knew I'd have room to wiggle later on,
Sure.
and I just couldn't take that Kid. I did like hearing ZZ Top, as embarrassing as it was.
Where did ZZ Top show up?
Oh, you get almost the full song of "Give Me All Your Lovin'" when they all suit up and start like walking around and strutting. It's pretty bad.
You mean the elves with attitude?
I don't know if it was that good. Listen, the movie's so complicated and deep. There's many parts to it that are conflating in my brain. I'm surprised you don't remember that though. The ZZ Top. I know you're not a fan. You hate them, but their song comes up.
I guess.
Yeah. Second time we've covered ZZ Top.
I know. Back to the Future Part 3, of course.
There he goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So your LVP's Tim Allen. Good for you. Just good on you.
Thanks, man.
I do have a superhero count.
Oh yeah, let's hear it. Na 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 na.
Very nice. Majestic.
I
Wagnerian.
thought so.
It was Wagnerian.
That's a great Christmas movie, Henry. The Majestic.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Well, number 1, shitty Eric Lloyd, obviously.
The kid.
Charlie the Kid was young Bruce Wayne in Batman and Robin.
Right.
Number 2, Judge Reinhold, who we've covered before, was in the Linda Carter Wonder Woman series, playing a character named Jeffrey Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon's brother.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
Is the Jeff signal. He was also the voice of Negative Man in a Teen Titans cartoon.
Sure, why not?
Why not? This one caught my eye. David Krumholtz was in the 1997 TV pilot, which didn't make it past that, of Justice League of America.
Oh, who'd he play?
Playing a character named Martin Walter.
Martin Walter.
I'm sure, did you know there was a 97 pilot for Justice League of America?
No, it was live action?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. All right, number 4.
Also, great on The Deuce, which is well worth watching for anybody with taste.
Agreed. Season 1 is killer.
Season 2, just as good.
Yeah. So I've heard. I think on this show I heard it. Peter Boyle played Bill Church Sr., a very important character in the DC universe, on the show Lois and Clark.
Why not? Sure.
Yeah. And finally, Saturday Night Live's own Mary Gross. You might have caught her in the movie as the teacher.
She's good. Yeah, Mary Gross is a little bit of a bright spot in this movie. Yeah.
She played Nell Nutrich in Lois and Clark.
All right. Nell Nutrich.
Yeah.
You missed, of course, Frank Welker, who did some reindeer voices in this movie.
We don't cover Frank Welker on this show.
We're done with Frank Welker.
We're done. Yeah. It's too hard. Too much.
Okay.
I said and gave him the credit. Look him up. Yeah.
Sure. Henry, next week we'll be covering the Santa Claus 2 and the Santa Claus 3. Can't wait for that.